Good morning, and welcome to Workforce Skills with John Morse. Monday morning here is a struggle to come in today. A lot going on in the office. Did some onboarding with a couple new employees today. They're going out in the field and starting working, but the real struggle was last week. The real struggle came on Friday. I've got an employee that handles our accounts payable, accounts receivable. It was quite a struggle to let this person go, but it had to be done. I realized lately I've been walking on eggshells around this person within my own business, and that's a struggle. That shouldn't be happening in your own business or around people you work with. We should never be in a situation where we have to act differently or act like someone we are not around people because we're concerned about how their reactions are going to be in a workplace. We all have a job to do. We all have to get along. We all have to get together and come in a certain sense of for the greater good, the bigger picture of the whole situation. So what do you do when you have an employee that uses a company card for personal purchases? First thing to do is, well, you think you're going to fire them. But what do you do when that person has access to your books, they have access to everything? It takes a little bit more to put in place to make a situation to where you can let them go and replace them. It's not easy, especially with the size of our business. And that's the struggle I had. The struggle I had was for the last month and a half, knowing this was going to happen, but not figuring out exactly how to do it or when it was going to happen. And there is no right time except for now. We always think, okay, I got to wait for the right time to buy a house. I got to wait for the right time to buy a car. Is there really a right time to do anything? Or is it when it goes through your mind and you need to do something, just make it happen? So now we're transitioning in the office. Unfortunately for my wife, who retired at the beginning of the year, I've got her back at the office today working. She's going to come in a couple days each week, helping us get through this mess, sort everything out. But now we are looking for a new accounts payable, accounts receivable person to work in our office. I realized I can't have one person managing both. I need a person in each position. We've gotten to the size to where we need that, and it's going to create accountability on both positions. That way there's more checks and balances. I think the idea in business and in any job is to have checks and balances to make sure that we are covering ourselves. It's going through the whole Cardone Venture sayings with 10X 360 and what we've been learning. Last week, Greg, my partner, we went through the finance essentials, and it's interesting. I heard Brandon Dawson say something about when they do an audit on a business, the amount of theft that they find within these businesses. I can't remember the number. It was so high. It was shocking to me. And what happens when you're not watching your money and people know that you're not watching your money or you're not paying attention to your books because you're so involved with everything else? That gives somebody else the opportunity to watch your money, and they see that you're not watching it and gives them the opportunity to skim off the top or take something from you. I've had other people that I know. I've got a buddy that owns an HVAC company. He went through a similar thing twice with two different people that work in his office over a period of years. I remember the first time when the person worked for him, it was many, many years ago, I think when he first started his business within the first couple of years. Actually had to have this person arrested from his office because of what had happened. It's unfortunate that people get that comfortable that they can do that. I don't ever want to be so comfortable in a situation that I start doing things I shouldn't. So what do you do when you have an employee that's stealing from you? We had a couple painters, I think it was about a year ago, walk into a Home Depot with their company shirts on. Walking out of the Home Depot, and the employees at Home Depot took pictures of these two guys with their company shirts, with our company phone number on it, walking to their vehicle with stolen paint in a shopping cart. What do you do in a situation like that? Obviously, we fired them. We gave Home Depot their information. I wasn't going to put up with that, but what gives a person I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. I don't know if it's guts, balls, whatever you want to say. What gives them the want to do something like that? We pay our employees very well. They have a job. They get a paycheck every Friday. Why let yourself get to a point to where you're going to do that? You don't bite the hand that feeds you. I'm never going to screw over a contractor that I'm doing work for that my paycheck is in their hands for our company. I've got way too many people that rely on that check to come in. We're waiting on hundreds of thousands of dollars to come in from general contractors we're doing work for right now. And I'm not going to do anything to screw that situation up. We're not going to steal from a contractor. We're not going to take something off the job. It's not like the wild, wild west where there's no cameras, there's no accountability. If you can't do anything nowadays without getting caught. Even in my office and shop, and we have a huge warehouse and office, I have cameras. I've got cameras on the back doors in the shop. It sees everything. You can't take anything without being noticed. You can't walk in our office without somebody seeing you. There is such a setup of accountability for everything that we do. And now it's funny how when something like this happens, we start looking at the situation and what we can do to keep it from happening the next time. What checks and balances do we add in place now because of this situation? What changes do we make? Now, I could sit here and say, you know what, moving forward, I'm not going to trust anybody, but I can't do that. We have to have a certain level of trust in our business. We have to let people do their job. I can't micromanage people. People aren't going to thrive and succeed under someone that's micromanaging them. It doesn't work that way. People need to be able to thrive. They need to be able to do well in a business. They need to have the opportunity to make mistakes so they learn from these mistakes. I want people working for me to make a mistake. I want them to learn from it. What I don't want them to do is steal. What I don't want them to do is do something malicious or unethical. We're not about that within our company, and I never want to be known for that. That is not how we run our business. Our business is going to be run ethically. We're going to do the right thing. We're going to treat people the right way. No one will ever not get a paycheck. No one will ever not get paid for the hours that they worked or the time they put in. We have never screwed anybody over in that sense. It's funny how guys will call in and say, hey, I think I got short 8 hours on my paycheck. I know I worked a full 40 last week. Okay, you realize last Monday was a holiday. Oh, I forgot. That's the first response we get from most of them. Or you remember you called out last week because you had a flat tire and you didn't show up to work. They don't remember this. So we keep notes on everything. We keep checks and balances everywhere to cover ourselves so we don't end up in a situation like that. I want to make sure that everybody's taken care of and everybody is honest and we do the right thing by everybody, whether it's an employee, whether it's a contractor we're doing work for, whether it's a property manager that we're doing work for. I want to make sure that our business is being run the right way. So when we have somebody in the company that's stealing from us or doing something they shouldn't, it has to be dealt with. And it's difficult. The higher up the position within a company, the harder it is to deal with it. Unfortunately, for the painters in the field, it's easier. We run an ad every week for painters. So we're running an ad every Monday for painters for that week, looking for new employees. We're trying to grow the company. We have a certain amount of employees that are revolving door. We have that 30% of the company that is sabotaging the company. Some don't even know they're doing it, but they're doing it by calling out sick. They're calling in with a flat tire, showing up late. It causes situations on the job not to be productive. That is a form of sabotage within the company. So I'm not talking about the lower end employees because everybody has a purpose and everybody within our company is valuable. What I'm talking about is the guys in upper management, the women in upper management, the people that are in a position of, let's say, power within the company because they control certain segments of the business to a certain extent, like our finances or the vehicle maintenance or the employees. What do I do when an employee, and I'm not saying this has happened, but what do you do when you have an employee out there that maintains all your vehicles and they have access to your account at the auto parts store and they're going and buying parts and you're seeing invoices, you got someone overseeing it. How do you make sure that they're not buying stuff for other vehicles and doing stuff on the side? You have to have these checks and balances in place. Same with paint orders with our company. Our paint orders are run through one person through the office and called into the paint store. There's a PO system. We have a number system assigned to it. And each PO is written down on a paper. It's assigned to that job. It's added into QuickBooks. We know exactly where every purchase is going. So we control that so we're not being taken advantage of. So there's no loss. You know, it's a struggle sometimes with the size of business that we are to keep track of every single item. But everything that comes in and out of our warehouse, as a painting company, we have rolls of paper, rolls of tape, rolls of plastic, paint rollers, buckets of primer. We get our primer in bulk. We buy it by the pallet. We keep track of everything that goes in and out. One piece of sandpaper going in and out of our shop is tracked. There's a cost to everything. That's part of our COGS, our cost and goods of service, of what we're doing within our business. So we have to keep track of that so we know the true cost of what it's running us to do a job. If not, it'd just be a free-for-all, be mayhem. And we can't have that. We need to know exactly what we're doing. And it's a struggle when you have someone that doesn't care about the business, or they get too comfortable within the business that thinks that they can take advantage or use the business for their own personal. It can't be that way. And if you get to a point to where you're that comfortable in the business, there's a problem. If you're that comfortable where you feel you have to steal from the business, there's a problem. You have to change your mindset. You have to change the way you think. I'm looking for honest people. I'm looking for hardworking people that want to grow within my business. I want to find people that are like-minded like me. You know I've talked about this before, John C. Maxwell's book, The 21 Laws of Leadership. And I just finished a chapter and how we attract people that are like us. And I want to attract people that are like-minded like me, that are honest, that want to do better, that want to grow a business, that wants to be a part of something bigger, something better. One thing we're going to roll out, and here we are in beginning of August, and we're not rolling it out until January 1st, but we're putting a bonus structure in throughout our company. And it's going to give each person from crew leaders up, so crew leaders, superintendents, project managers, office people, estimators, there's going to be an up to $1,500 bonus each month for each employee that they can earn as long as they hit certain KPIs, key performance indicators. So as long as they hit their KPIs, these key performance indicators, what's going to happen is they have the opportunity to earn an extra $1,500 a month. Now, at the end of the month, if they hit every key performance indicator and they did exactly what they're supposed to, on the 20th of the next month, they will receive that check for the $1,500. That's a bonus they can earn up to. Now, some people might not earn the full $1,500. They might only earn $200 or $300, but they have the opportunity for doing their job, doing it well, to earn this extra money. This is something we're implementing to help our guys out. I'm hoping it creates a structure within the company that guys are looking at, that it gives them the opportunity to make more money. It's a bonus. If they can survive and live off their paycheck, and some guys do it very well, other guys, they really struggle budgeting their money. It's a battle for them. And I think maybe one day we need to do a podcast with budgeting. How can we help guys on the lower end figure out their budget? And maybe down the road we can have a guest on here talking about that and help us with that for some of our lower end guys. I think that would be a great thing to put together. But for right now, let's focus on being honest, doing our job to the best of our ability. But thinking about the situation of letting an employee go, how do you guys deal with that out there? Is there anybody out there that's never been fired from a job? I think a lot of us have been let go from different positions, different jobs. Even us that own our own businesses, we've worked for other companies before. We know what we expect out of our employees. There's a reason we made it to this level. But for you guys out there that are maybe a superintendent or a project manager or just a crew leader, and some of you have to fire someone for the first time. It's a struggle. It's hard thinking about that. You're affecting somebody's personal life. I have to think about people that when I let them go, they have families. They have people that rely on them. They have bills to pay. What I did affects this person on a personal level. I had to fire somebody last year in December because they were stealing from the company. And the guy came in, this was before we started doing direct deposit, which we started the first of this year, and we still had paper checks, and he came in to pick up his check that week. And I was in my office with a couple other guys busy, and I heard him up front make the comment to the girl in the front office, "I can't believe you guys did this to me this time of year and knowing I just had a baby." You know, first response that comes through my head is, I can't believe you did this to yourself knowing this time of year and knowing that you just had a kid. What went through your mind thinking that you could steal? What went through your mind? And the fact that you have to blame somebody else for your transgressions? Take a good look in a mirror and think about what you did. But knowing that these things have to be done, it's hard not to take it on a personal level. It's hard to look at this person and say, man, should I fire him? I know he's just had a baby. I know it's the holidays. I know he's got rent around the corner, but at the same time, I have a business to run. And for you guys out there that are in these positions, and you might not be the owner of the company, but you have to fire somebody, you have to let somebody go, and it's difficult. You have to think about it in a different way. And the way I would recommend thinking about it is, and not to be mean or not to sound cold-hearted, but when you look at this person who's doing something wrong, you can't think of it in a sense of feelings and emotions at that point. There's a reason that you are having to let this person go. This person did something wrong. No matter what the situation is, they did something wrong. Whether it's they stole from the company, whether it's they were calling out sick constantly or calling in with a flat tire constantly, showing up late nonstop. We have certain things in place where we write up the employees. So they'll get certain write-ups before they get let go on certain situations. But you have to think about it in a sense that they did this to themselves. And what you were doing is you were doing a disservice to yourself and that company by keeping that employee that's affecting the attitudes of the people around them, knowing that they're getting away with whatever they're doing. That's how you have to look at it. You have to look at it in a sense of, you know what? It's either this person or me. I have to stand up for this company. I have to stand up for my position. I have to let this person go. If not, I'm enabling this situation. I'm enabling this person to continue to affect others around them. And we can't have that within the business. We have to set up a situation to where everybody's comfortable working together. I don't want to show up to work and walk on eggshells around somebody or feel like I can't be myself or can't say what I need to. I can't come to work and not run my business the way it's supposed to because I'm worried about what this person thinks or feels. It doesn't work that way. We come to work, have thick skin, and do a job. We are all hired to do a certain job, and we must perform it to the best of our ability. And if someone is not doing that, they are affecting everybody else around them. It's not about the money. It's not about the bottom line. It's about the productivity of everybody else. It's about the morale and attitudes of everybody else around you. Don't steal from the hand that feeds you. And if you're that person doing that, you need to seek help. You need to take care of your situation. And for us that are in a position that sees it, that knows it, we need to eliminate that situation as soon as possible, as quick as possible, because we don't realize how much it's affecting everybody else. I can't begin to tell you how many times I've had to let somebody go, and that was toxic or a cancer within the company. And oh my goodness, the change in the attitudes, the morale in the office or on that crew instantaneously changed. And the question is always, why didn't I do it sooner? I knew it needed to be done. Why did I wait so long to do this? And I don't understand why I do it to myself or why other people do. We have to look at this situation and fix it right then and there. Don't let it fester. Don't let it continue. You've got to make the change as soon as possible to fix it for the betterment of the company, for the betterment of the people around you. The attitudes will change. The morale will change instantaneously as soon as you get rid of that toxic person. And everybody around knows it. Everybody around can see it. And half the time, nobody's going to say anything to you until after you let that person go. And they're going to be like, oh my God, you won't believe what they were really doing. That's when everybody comes out and tells you everything. It's already happening today. I'm already hearing certain things that this person was doing that they shouldn't have been doing, or how they treated people, or how uncomfortable they made people feel. I can't begin to tell you the difference it's already making within our office. And I wish I would have done it sooner. And I say it every single time we're in this situation. I wish I would have done it sooner. I wish I would have done this 2 years ago. I knew these problems were happening years ago. And this person's been with us for a very, very long time. And you have to be careful of the ones that are closest to you. The ones that are closest to you, you've got to keep a closer eye on some of them. Don't need them to know it, but you need to be aware of who has access to your money, your accounts, your job situations, who on your crew has access to all your supplies and materials. Keep track of how much product's being used on your jobs. It doesn't matter whether it's with painting or something else, whether you're a plumber, electrician, welder. Keep track of your supplies. Keep track of what's going in and out on a job site. Keep track of your people. Keep checks and balances in place. I do it for myself. I keep checks and balances in place to keep myself on point. I have to. It's human nature that we kind of take the easy way out sometimes. We get lazy without even realizing it. So I need things to keep me on point. I need things to keep me to a point to where I am on my game all the time. Doing this podcast helps me on a weekly basis, talking about what I'm dealing with. It keeps me on point with what I have to deal with at work. And, I feel like sometimes we could do a reality show on our business and what we're doing. There's just so much happening on a day-to-day basis. I feel like I can't make half this stuff up that I deal with. It's so bizarre sometimes, the reactions from people or the excuses, the situations that we come and play with every single week. It's interesting how people react to just the smallest situation. They let their feelings and emotions get involved with what we're dealing with, and it doesn't need to be that way. If we can come to work and keep logic and business at the forefront and wait till that you go out that door and then let the emotions and feelings take place, we would be so much better. And I know some people can't do that. I know we have our feelings and emotions that we have to deal with. It's going to happen. But if we could just put them on the back burner just for 8 hours while we're at work or however much time you're there, if we could just put it behind us for a minute and focus on what we need to do at work, we would be 10 times more productive every day, all the time, guaranteed, by just focusing on logic and business. That's all you got to do. And maybe the situation that we have here is someone felt that they were owed something by the company, or they felt they're not making them enough money, or they're not getting paid what they deserve. You don't go stealing for the company. You talk about it. My door is always open for anybody to sit down and have a discussion about what they're making, what the wages are, where we're at as a company. I try to be very transparent with the employees within our company about what we do as a company, dollar-wise, what the profits of the company are. That's why we're going to be able to bonus out and create this bonus structure down the road, because I want the employees to see the profits of the business. I want them to get a piece of it. That's the goal. The goal is for them to make, as a business makes more money, they might make more money. Let them feel like there's an investment for them to do better. Give them goals that are attainable to put more profit in their pockets. Because right now with the average employee, they come to work, they know what they're making every Friday. They know if they put their 40 hours in or if they're on salary, this is what they get. They know they won't get a raise for a certain amount of time. They know there's something more down the road for them, but let's create a structure for them. Let's create something new for them. And maybe you're the one out there with a business that isn't making a ton of money. You're just a small company, only a couple employees. But what can you do for those employees to give them something extra? What about the good months where you did a little extra and you did something good? Maybe a gas card from QT or Circle K, one of these gas places. Maybe it's just a $100 Visa card that you give them once in a while. Something to let them know that they're appreciated. Maybe it's you work side by side with the guys in the field. You're the one that sees all the profits. They get an hourly pay. Maybe it's taking them out for lunch once in a while. Buy them a Gatorade during the day. Right now it's 112 degrees out today out here in Phoenix. It is hot. So maybe today you buy Gatorades for your guys. Do something extra to show your employees that you do appreciate them. And maybe you're the superintendent, project manager, you're not the owner, and you don't have the luxury to do that. Talk to the owner of the company. Talk to somebody above you. Say, hey, it's really hot. How would you feel if I bought a bunch of Gatorades on a company and took them out there? And can I buy a case and throw them in a cooler and hook the guys up out there? I guarantee you it's the small things that will make the biggest difference. They need to know that they're appreciated. And for you guys listening out there, and I try to do this when I have people working at my house. I know what it's like working outside, because there was years and years ago, I remember I was doing residential painting and I was working out there, and it was just me and two guys, and we were painting this guy's house, and he comes out, it's the middle of summer, he's drinking his iced tea, and first thing out of his mouth was, man, I don't know how you guys work out in the heat, and he's drinking his iced tea right in front of us. Didn't offer us anything. We had our water jug. We're trying to stay hydrated. But one thing I've learned, and I would recommend to any homeowner out there, whenever you have somebody working on your home, offer them a bottle of water. Offer them something. It's interesting how many people come to work on my house, and I offer this. A lot of people don't take it, but a lot of them do. Or I'll set it out there next to them, because some people just, no, I'm good. It's okay. I've got water in my truck. But I'll take a bottle of water out and I say, okay, well, I'll just leave it right here if you want it. And 10 minutes later, if I go back out there, I guarantee they're drinking that water every single time. So give it to them anyway. Take care of the people that are working on your property, on your house, even within our business. We rent the location where we're at. We have a 9,000 square foot office and warehouse, and we lease it. And there's guys that come out there and work on the place. There's the landscapers outside. There's the people washing the windows. We get, I think every other month they come and they replace the intake filters on the, I think 4 units that are on our building for the AC. We offer everybody a bottle of water. Every single person. Someone comes in to fill out an application for us. We offer them a bottle of water. We always offer it to them. Start taking care of the people around you. Start helping others around you. It's the little things that will go a long way. It's not just for your employees. It's not just for the people that you know. It's for anybody that comes in contact with you. Take care of them. Our place of business, we're going to take care of everybody. We have a mini fridge up there that we keep water in that we hand out. Hell, as a business, I've seen businesses I go into. I think it's, can't remember the Discount Tire, I think it is, I've gone into, and they have a cooler out there and they have their water bottles, and the stickers on there have their company logo on there to advertise. You can do it and write it off as advertisement for your company or for your business. There's so many ways to make this work. It's just the simple things that make the biggest difference. And so try to take care of your employees. Try to take care of the people around you. I want to take care of everybody around me, and I want them to know that they're appreciated. And if it gets to a point where they're stealing from me or they're taking from me, I have to step back and look at, when did they stop feeling appreciated? When did they feel that they had to take something from me? Or when did they feel that their voice didn't matter or make a difference within the business? What can I do differently moving forward? Or is this person just ungrateful, didn't care? It was all about them. Didn't care about the business, and they were just floating by until they wanted to find something else or something better. Every situation's different. But I'm going to analyze every situation. I'm going to look at the situation and say, what can I have done differently? How could I have treated this person differently? And some people are just miserable. They're angry. Their personal lives are so miserable, they bring it to work, and you can't change that. You can't change someone's personal life, but you can try to make it better within the workplace. We can try to create a working environment where everybody is comfortable with where they're at and what we're doing. I want people to be comfortable. So how do we change this? How do you change it within your workplace? What can you do? What can you do differently? My employees call me and they always look for advice. I get employees call me after hours when I'm not at work. I always answer. I always talk to them. I'm going to do a shout out to one of my employees, and I know he listens to this podcast, and he's on a Fry's grocery store, new build we're doing, I think, down in Marana. His name's Sean Boyd. If you're listening, Sean, I'm really proud of you. You're doing a great job. He called me Saturday just to talk to me. And, we talked about how to deal with the situation a little bit different. How can he help the guys under him? How can he run his job site a little bit better? I give him my advice, my opinions. It's up to him to implement it. And this guy, since he came on board with us, has done phenomenal. He's doing so much better. From day one to now, he's not even the same person. I am so proud of this guy, where he's coming to and where he's going within our business, and he is on the right path. And he keeps grinding and pushing forward. He is in beast mode every day, and he's hungry for more. And that's what I want to see in all my employees. And I throw his name out there, but he's not the only one. I got 20 others I could throw out there that I am so proud of, that are doing so well. And I don't know if they all listen to this podcast. I don't know, and I don't expect them to. But I want the best for them. I want to give them the best. We're doing crew leader training, and I bring these guys in for crew leader training. We had crew leader training on Friday, and it's the second one we've done with our crew leaders. And we had one of our guys not show up, and he texted me with excuses, and he couldn't be there. Now, they're getting paid for this training. It's not like they have to be there for free. We buy lunch for them. We do the training. It's only for about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 at the most. And it's during the day. It's not like it's after hours on a weekend. We shut down their jobs early and have them come in. And one of our guys texted he couldn't make it. So now I have to look at this and think, how hungry is he? Does he really want this? Is he trying to level up? Do I include him in the next crew leader training, or do I not? That is the question. And I have to evaluate each situation and think about what I'm going to do differently moving forward with this guy. I'm not sure he's buying into wanting something more. I think it's just a paycheck. But he's got to step up, and he's got to show me now. He's got to show me what he's capable of. What does he really want out of this job and with what he's doing with our company? I want guys that are going to be in beast mode and be hungry every day for more. That's what we're looking for. We're always looking for new employees. We're always looking for new guys. I want guys that want to move up in position. My goal is to double our revenue next year. That means I need more superintendents and more project managers. That means I need more estimators. Who is going to level up in our company? Who's going to shine and show that they want it? Maybe you're out there and thinking, this is a company I want to work for. Maybe you reach out to us and say, hey, John, I want to work for you. I want to find a new position. I want to find a company that I can be appreciated at. Maybe you're in another state and you want to relocate here. Work is booming here. You can't not find a job out there in Phoenix and the surrounding areas. There is so much happening. It amazes me that guys don't have work. How can you not find a job? There is something being built everywhere. Every side of Phoenix and every outlying subdivision is building up. Out along the 303, it's just massive warehouses going up nonstop out there. There's a new casino being built out there. There's warehouse upon warehouse upon warehouse, and businesses going up. We are in a location where there's so much work. If you can't find a job, the problem's not the job situation, it's you. You're not being realistic for what you're looking for. There is something for everybody. Maybe it's not the job that you want at the time, but you take it to find somewhere to level up at. It's interesting during COVID when I saw a lot of people at different companies leveling up and moving from company to company. There is nothing wrong with that. I saw guys that were assistant superintendents moving up to superintendents, but they weren't doing it within their own company. They were leveling up and moving to other companies. And it continued with multiple positions. The opportunities are out there for you to grow, but you got to find it and you got to want it and you got to work hard. But you have to leave your feelings and emotions at the door. You can't take them into the workplace. I'll sit down and talk with every single employee about them, but do not bring them into the workplace. Don't take them on a job. Once we're done talking about them, leave them at the door and move on. Move on to the next thing. I think the goal for me, for everybody this week, is try to be a better employee. Try to think how you can bring value to your position, to your job. If you're not happy there, if you're not content, you've heard me say it many times before, go somewhere else. find somewhere else to work. But when you're at the workplace, you got to realize you're not being paid for your time. You're being paid for your value and what you bring to the company. So if you want to level up, if you want to make more, bring value, bring more value, educate yourself, watch videos, do something, train yourself. I'm trying to educate myself every single day by reading videos, seminars, workshops. What are you doing to better yourself and change your situation? Stop blaming everybody else for what you're not getting. If somebody else is moving up, they're leveling up, look at yourself and saying, what are they doing that I'm not doing? What can I change within myself? What value can I bring today to my organization? What value can I bring today to my position? And it doesn't matter what your position is or where you're at. What are you going to do differently this week? It's tough firing people. It is tough looking for new people. But I'm looking for value. I'm looking for people that can bring value to their job, to their situation. So go out there this week and think about, what can I do to bring value to my situation, my position, my organization, my company? It's not just the owners, it's the employees, it's everybody. And you as an owner, especially out there, what can you do to bring value to your organization for your employees? What can you do differently to retain your employees, to retain good workers? What value can I implement within my business? I'm not here getting paid for time. You're not getting paid for your time. You're getting paid for production, for value. So what are you going to do to bring value this week? Once again, guys, I thank you for joining me. Stay hungry.